because it seems like it's up in the air on what we're going to be responsible for. So I wanted to outline what we're responsible for and what he's not, because we put that in the transition plan, but then it keeps growing without updating the transition plan. Okay guys, so I just finished up my first meeting for the day. It was about an hour and 15 minutes worth of meeting, and it had a couple of due outs from that meeting, so I'm gonna go ahead and just like address some of those due outs, provide status updates, just so that everyone is on the same page. And then while we were doing the meeting, I was able to type up some meeting notes. So I'll make sure that I send those out to everyone that attended the meeting, and then start working on those due outs. At least just putting them on, like, we have this, I think it's called a Kanban board. And what it does is it pretty much just tracks all of the open action items that we have. We can assign different tasks to different people, and it has different due dates. So I actually use something very, very similar to this for actually tracking my YouTube channel, where I see a lot of emails coming in, where I will, I use Trello. So an equivalent to this board that we use for work is Trello. I use that to research, script out, and provide any resources for videos that I do on my other channel. That is like, it's very informational and educational based. I don't really do that for my vlogs because the vlogs are just kind of, you know, go with the flow. But I do use Trello when I'm planning like trips and stuff. It's just a really nice place to organize a lot of different information, different moving pieces, and it's just very easy to use. So we use something similar to that for work. So I'm going to update that board with the information that came out in this meeting, and then work on some of those due outs. So I'll see you guys in a little bit. Alright you guys, so it is much later in the day. It's actually after lunch. So during lunch, I attended what's called a lunch and learn. And so pretty much what that is, it is like, it's not a TED talk, but it's pretty much where they have like people who are considered experts or respected people in the field. They'll either be a director or president of something. Like they'll have someone who's pretty much really important. So the person who came and spoke today, they work for Space Force, which is a organization that explores space. And so I just thought that that was really cool. And so she came in, or pretty much it's all virtual. So she came in and she talked about, you know, her life and her career and how she got to the point that she is now, or where's the point to where she is in her career now. I love the lunch and learns. Like they have a whole bunch of different topics. I really like hearing about people's career progression in life. And so I was able to do that. And so because it's like a lunch and learn, it's not a mandatory meeting or anything like that. So while I did that, or while I was listening to that, I just made me some quick lunch and pretty much cleaned up my work area because it was looking crazy. So yeah, that's pretty much what I did for the hour of lunch and learn. And so now I have a couple of meetings left, and then we're gonna close out the day. So before we get into my last couple of meetings for the day, I did want to show you guys the Kanban board. And so I told you that I use Trello in my personal life. It is a great tool for project managers to use to be organized with all of their projects. And then, you know, you can take the project manager out of the workplace, but you can't stop her from being a project manager. I just love using it in my personal life to just organize everything. If there's a spreadsheet to have, y'all, I'm gonna have it for everything. I like documenting, keeping track, just everything organized. So let me show you guys the Kanban board. So here it is, and this is just a template that is in Trello. I didn't have to do anything special. I didn't make this board. This just came as a template through Trello. And so pretty much what you'll do is you'll have a project. And so how you organize a project using this board is that you can write different like labels here. And so this is our to-do list. This is what is currently in progress. And like, it just lets you document the different stages that your project is in. And so, for example, a backlog is items that we can't typically get to right now, but if we finish one of our current projects, like something that's in this column, while we're working on those items, if we finish one of these early, then we can easily just pull something from the backlog. So if I want to move something from the backlog, and it's not going to let me do it because this is a template, you guys, but I can literally just drag it from here in there. Like, it's very easy. And so if you go to the left hand side, they have a ton of templates that you can use. And so Agile is another big project management template. And so I'll click this, and it kind of just gives you like an example or a description of how to use the template. And so here, they just have like different charts and stuff that's already laid out that is in the Agile method for project management. So you guys, because that was a template, I'm going to show you how I actually use this type of methodology in my everyday life. And so here is how I use Trello in my everyday life. So I really use it when I'm organizing trips. And so a couple of years ago, I went to London. And so how I like to organize my trips is I'll do it by day. And so I knew that I was arriving on Friday. And like when you click in here, it'll show like my confirmation numbers and stuff for my flight. And I knew like once I landed, I was going to go to breakfast. This is where I documented like my hotel that I was going to check into and just like different reservations that I had throughout my trip. One of the things that I really like about this board is how easy it is to move something to somewhere else, right? So once I create the card, I can easily just move it around. So, okay, you know what? Instead of on doing Lion King on Sunday, I'm going to do it on Tuesday instead. So it's just very easy to work around the board and just move things around. All right, guys, so I actually have another meeting that I need to hop onto. And so this meeting is it's going to be a sprint demonstration. And so pretty much what that is that every 2 weeks we have a sprint demonstration. And because I'm working on like a technology-based project, they'll have different milestones of where we should be in a project. So for example, let's say we are building out, and I'm just going to keep it very, basic. So let's say we are building out a YouTube page. So we're building out a YouTube page. And so every 2 weeks we'll have different milestones of things that we need to have completed in order to show progression within that project. And so they'll schedule a sprint demonstration where they will demonstrate how they made any corrections from the previous demonstration and then also what they have completed within the last 2 weeks. So I'm about to hop on that call. All right, you guys, so that was a pretty short meeting that only lasted 30 minutes. It wasn't a lot of input from me. I'm more of an attendee on those meetings. Those are owned pretty much by someone else, and they conduct the demonstrations. So I'm pretty much there to just oversee, make sure that the project is running smoothly, and then I'm here taking any notes or I'm listening out for any concerns or things that might make the project not complete on time and within budget. And then I make sure I take any notes that I might need to communicate to senior leadership. So not a bad meeting at all. I have one more meeting for the day. And this meeting is just going to be just something between me and my boss. Where I'm just going to be pretty much giving him a status update on how the projects are coming along. And then I need to update our weekly status report, which is like a big PowerPoint presentation that all of the project managers input different statuses for our respective projects into. And then my supervisor, he briefs those out to senior leadership just so that he's kept abreast on all of our different projects because we're all managing different pieces. So we all input that information into a weekly status report that he briefs to senior leadership. And so then after that, I just have to update my tracker, which is like, it's just pretty much an Excel spreadsheet that I use to track different tasks that I assign to people to make sure that I don't forget about it. And then I associate a different due date, and then everyone has access to the spreadsheet so that they can see what tags that they are assigned to. It's really similar to the Kanban board, but the Kanban board it doesn't allow you, at least the one that we use, it does not allow you to make reports. So I like to also, I guess I duplicate this. And I guess as a project manager, I should be seeing how I can simplify this process. But I actually use the Kanban board, and then I also put that information into an Excel spreadsheet so that I can run analysis on the different data, which the current Kanban board that we use does not allow you to do that. But anyways, I'm gonna finish that up, and then you guys will probably see me heading to get something to eat because it's gonna start getting kind of late here. I had some yogurt and leftovers for lunch, so I'm gonna be a little bit hungry here in a little bit. So I'm gonna finish out this work day, and then I'm headed to get something to eat. I am on my way home from working out. I had a really good workout today. I had a really good day in general. I think I actually like doing these like daily vlogs because I think it makes me more intentional with my day. Whereas before I started like vlogging every day, before Vlogmas, I would be like, dang, the day is so quick. Like, you know, there's not enough time in the day, right? I still feel like that, of course, because there's not enough time in the day. Oh, you guys can barely see me. Oh well. I don't know if this will make it into the final cut, but I guess this would just be like my own personal, you know, video. Y'all know how they said, what's one thing that you thought was illegal growing up, but it really wasn't? And it was a dumb light. But yeah, I feel like vlogging over the last couple of days has just made me more aware of how I'm spending my time. And honestly, like I feel like I've spent a lot less time scrolling. I want to just spend less time scrolling, period. But I really have been thinking a lot to myself. And tonight, during my gym session, one of the things that I like thought about, which has been like a reoccurring theme in my life over the last couple of months, ever since I started listening to this podcast. Y'all know I'm always telling y'all about a podcast, but I had started listening to this podcast called Supernatural, and a lot of the episodes, and it's by the lady who does Crown Junkie, Ashley Flowers, and a lot of the episodes are about like it's about aliens and stuff like that, y'all. And she is like an investigative journalist, and she looks at like alien sightings from like academic standpoint, an investigative journalist standpoint. And a lot of the accounts, to be honest, y'all, you know what, this ain't about the aliens, but you know, stay with me now, stay with me. So a lot of the accounts, to be honest, when I'm listening to them, I'm like, wow, like that sounds very real. Like it sounds very plausible. The evidence seems there. It sounds very real. And to bring it full circle, like one of the things that I was thinking about tonight that I have been struggling with a lot this year, and then like just different phases throughout my life in general, is just my faith and like my place in the world and my relationship with a higher power, right? That's something that I have struggled with throughout my life. And one of the things that podcast has kind of like brought to the surface in me as it pertains to that particular spiritual journey is I'm listening to the podcast and I'm like getting chills because I'm like, dang, like that sounds like a very real alien encounter, right? And something that it made me think of is that I can listen to this podcast and feel like, oh my gosh, like that sounds like a real alien encounter. So why is it so difficult for me to feel God? Like, why is it so difficult for me to hear other people's experiences of, you know, how God has showed up for them, or how God has, you know, healed them, or has done something, you know, God-like or godly in their life? Why do I question that? Why is that, you know, faced with criticism? Why do I second guess that? So, it just really has been putting some perspective in my life of, I don't know, like, maybe, because I've been like researching like religion and stuff like that too. Like, actually, I don't want to tell you guys what I think yet, because I don't know what I think. I'm still on my own spiritual journey, right? And I think it would be very callous of me to share that, you know, you don't share your research findings before you do the research findings, right? So yeah, it's just something that, you know, where I am in my journey right now, I'm just comparing the two, and how come I have so much trouble believing people when they say certain things, but yet I'm believing this investigative journalist tell me that there's aliens. Are they so different? Are they so different that one is believable and the other one I question people when they share their experiences? So yeah, that was my thought. Very deep gym session tonight. I would love to get on my treadmill, but I think I'm gonna move it to the gym, to my brother-in-law's gym, because right now it's in my basement and I'm not able to use it. So I'm hoping to like move it, and then I can just like spend a lot of my time. they gonna be sick of me, but yeah, then I can just like spend a lot of my time, because it's getting cold now. Like, I didn't, let me slow down because it's a deer. But I wasn't even going fast, but you know, it don't take that much to fuck up your car. It take 10 miles per hour or more to fuck up your car. So yeah, they gonna be sick of me. But yeah, it's cold right now, so I didn't get up and go walk this morning. But I'll probably do that tomorrow. I gotta see what the weather's gonna be. It was kind of cold today. Yeah, but anyways, thank you guys. Let me turn this off, because I feel like I got my point across. Thank you for hanging out with me today. It has been a pleasure to bless your screens, bless your phones, bless your iPods. Do people still have iPods? Bless your phones, bless your earbuds. You know, thank you for watching. Thank you for spending a couple of, you know, minutes out of your day with me and listening to my thoughts. And if you have any thoughts that you would like to share, specifically, like, I would love to hear, you know, true stories, real stories about how God, or whomever you choose, right? I don't have a name for it, right? A higher power. However you feel like a higher power has blessed you in your life, that is just undeniably so, right? It can't be forsaken for anything else other than a higher power. I would love to hear that, as I store that in my research bank of trying to be on a spiritual journey with myself. But anyways, I appreciate you guys, and as always, make sure that you keep your actions intentional. Don't just be doing stuff just to be doing it. Make sure you keep your thoughts positive, because I feel like, and I believe that positivity, when it's in your body, in your mind, it comes into fruition. It comes into action. And remember that hurt people hurt people. And I don't mean that you gotta hurt people. Let hurt people and let it just die with you. You don't gotta pass that stuff forward. Just because someone else is having a bad day and they try to make you have a bad day, don't let them. So this was a nice little journey home. I appreciate it, and as always, thank you. I will see you guys tomorrow. Take care.